Hey everyone, my name is Jon Venus. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm gonna be explaining why going vegan made me bigger and stronger than when I used to do bodybuilding while eating meat. I've been vegan 5 years, and in these 5 years, I have made a lot of progress. Now, obviously, the most amount of progress when it comes to bodybuilding comes in that first 6 months to a year period, right? This is the insane newbie gain phase where you can gain, similar amounts of muscle mass to people who are on massive amounts of steroids and performance enhancing drugs. But after years go on, progress starts slowing down until the progress becomes so insignificant that you really don't notice much year after year. And that is kind of the point where I'm at right now. I've been lifting for 8 years. Being a bodybuilder, you automatically become obsessed with protein and you just think that you have to eat more and more meat, more and more eggs. I eat this 3 hours before I go to bed. So we have scrambled eggs with spinach, tomatoes, chopped ham, and we have fish here. Follow me on Instagram, and yeah. So after 3 years of hardcore meat eating bodybuilding, I decided to go vegan. And the reason why I did that is I watched a documentary here on YouTube actually called Earthlings, which kind of goes into depth about how the animal industry uses animal and exploits animals, and it really connected with me. It really opened my eyes and made me not want to touch any of that stuff anymore. So I switched overnight 5 years ago and haven't looked back since. So of course I had a lot of fear around bodybuilding because there weren't that many examples on the internet. I didn't know anyone in real life who was a vegan back then. Seriously guys, 5 years ago you'd be more likely to run into Bigfoot than another vegan. Firstly, let's talk about health, because if you can't be healthy on a diet, you can't really sustain it for long enough to build any muscle or to do anything really. So the number one concern about not being able to maintain optimal health is absolute nonsense. Now, first of all, it is absolutely possible to be unhealthy on a vegan plant-based diet. You can eat Oreos and French fries all day and be considered vegan. Now, that is not what I'm talking about, obviously. Now, there are many different ways of structuring a diet, your macronutrients, your protein amounts, your fats, carbs, all that kind of stuff. There are a million ways of doing it, but if you have a balanced, whole food, plant-based diet with some processed foods here and there, whatever you want, but if you mainly focus on healthy, whole plant foods, you are gonna get all the essential nutrients, all the essential amino acids, the omegas, the fats, everything that you need to maintain optimal health. Now, on to the second misconception, the protein is inferior and less bioavailable. Now, that is absolutely true to some extent, okay? Animal protein is actually more bioavailable and absorbs into your system easier than most plant proteins do. Some plant foods like soy and other kinds of beans and chickpeas and quinoa have a great absorption rate, and there is very, very little difference. But there are some plant proteins that are less bioavailable. For example, wheat, gluten seems to be very much not bioavailable. It's like a 50% absorption rate or something according to a few studies I've seen, but don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. It really is not a problem to get enough protein on a plant-based diet as long as you're choosing foods that are high in protein. So my main sources of protein are tempeh, tofu, beans, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa. All of these things, even though some are lower in protein than others, it all adds up in the end, and it's never been a problem to get enough protein for me personally to build muscle at an optimal level. Remember that we had to look at actual food itself, not just the macros. Those macros don't really mean anything if everything else that comes with that macro is not going to benefit you health-wise, right? So we have a lot of evidence and science suggesting that excess amounts of saturated fats coming from animal products and cholesterol might not be the most beneficial for your health. On the other hand, plant protein sources do not contain all that baggage with it. For sure, some can argue that they have anti-nutrients and oxalates and phytates and these things and lectins, but the reality is that it really doesn't play a role as long as you're cooking your food properly, rinsing and that kind of stuff like everyone always does. We're not gonna start eating raw beans, right? What a meat paradox. And the third argument is that it's way too difficult to do it on a plant-based diet. And I agree, like it is difficult in the start when you're switching your lifestyle around, when you're embarking on a new way of eating and living. It is gonna be challenging because you're doing something new. But that is for everything that is new in your life. Everything is challenging in the beginning until you get the hang of it, until you make new habits and things become automatic and easy. So how did I go stronger and bigger on a vegan diet. So because of the increased amount of complex carbohydrates, because plant foods are automatically high in carbs, and no, carbs are not bad. Eating fruits is not the same as eating a Snickers bar. Carbs are our body's main source of fuel. This can easily be proven by realizing that your body carries a lot of carbohydrates in the form of glycogen in your muscles. So whether it was just the carbohydrates or all the nitrates, and my blood is just flowing super efficiently through my body, I noticed the biggest pumps in the gym that I've ever noticed before. My strength shot through the roof. My muscle mass was increasing faster than it was the previous year. My recovery went up, which meant I could go back in the gym and do even more volume with heavy compound lifts and just use the principle of progressive overload even more efficiently to get even stronger, even faster. So to my surprise, even with the plant-based diet that I was eating being lower in protein than what I was eating before, I was getting bigger with more carbs and less protein. Now, physical strength and muscle building is impressive, it's awesome, but it's not only about that. The mental benefits and the mental strength I got from going vegan was the most impressive of everything. And I cannot even describe it into words because you wouldn't even believe me. I am not the same person that I was 5 years ago. My mental clarity, my way of thinking, my way of speaking, communicating with other people has completely changed. People who knew me in real life can see the difference.
I'm gonna give that a go right now. And it's really different from peanut butter. It's not peanut butter at all. It's like peanuts made into butter.
It's like I evolved from Pidgey and skipped Pidgeotto and went straight to Pidgeot. And of course, knowing that I was doing something not only for myself and my bodybuilding goals and health goals, but I was doing something for the environment, for my fellow, non-human animals, for all of these beings that, I thought didn't deserve to be treated the way that they were treated. It gave me a lot more motivation to carry on pushing myself in the gym and, taking steps towards becoming a healthier person. It really helped me with motivation as well. But that's just me personally. I'm not saying that you guys are gonna get all the benefits that I personally experienced from going vegan, but I'm saying that you will find some benefit. You will find some benefit by adding more plants into your diet, by removing processed junk food from your diet, by decreasing the amount of animal flesh that you're eating. You will feel benefits. So is vegan bodybuilding better than meat-based bodybuilding? No. For me, it was better, but it doesn't mean it's better for everyone. And for sure, it's not gonna be worse as long as you account for the macronutrients, as long as you're getting enough protein, as long as you're eating enough calories, as long as you know and experiment how to do it in a way that benefits you the most. There is no way you're gonna notice a decline in your performance, in your muscle size, in your gains. And I've been coaching people for, I don't even know how long, 6 years now. And I know this to be true because this is what I do for a living. So I hope that this was a useful video. I hope this inspires you to go out there and eat more plant foods and experience the benefits for yourself. Trust me, it's worth it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, let me know what you want to see next. And as always, I'll see you very soon. Peace out.